So basically we need to make two connections from our synthesizer to our computer running Ableton Live in order to integrate the synthesizer with the DAW. First of all, we need to make an audio connection. So we use a 1/4-inch cable to connect the output of the synthesizer to the input of our audio interface. The other connection we need to make is a MIDI connection. Now, if you have a fairly recent hardware synthesizer which has a USB port at the back, chances are you will not need to make the MIDI connection. The MIDI will go through the USB cable. But if it's an older synthesizer without USB, you will need a MIDI cable and a MIDI interface. Some audio interfaces have a built-in MIDI interface inside them, like the Complete Audio 6, but some of them don't. Oh, and one more thing, some synthesizers can actually act as an audio interface, so the USB connection can provide both the MIDI and audio connection. This is not the case with the Novation Bass Station II, but if you have such synthesizer, it's going to be even easier. So now that we've connected the audio output of our synthesizer to the input of the sound card, we need to make sure that the inputs are correctly set up inside Ableton. So we go to our preferences and check. First of all, of course, we need to enable our audio interface as an audio device in Ableton. We need to go to the input configuration and see if all the inputs we are going to be using are enabled. In this case, I've connected my synth to input 1, so it's enabled. I create an audio channel. In the audio from drop-down menu, I select external in and I select the input that the synthesizer is connected. If I've done everything correctly, I should have an audio input from the synth right now. So now I can record the synthesizer directly as an audio clip like any other instrument. I can press record and just play. So yeah, this is basically the most straightforward way to use a hardware synth. You just record the audio. But how about if you want to trigger the synth with MIDI? Like maybe you want to draw the notes inside the MIDI clips, or you just want to correct your playing. Whatever the case may be, you need to set up the MIDI connection for the synthesizer. So like I said, it's connected via USB, so the MIDI goes through the USB cable. We need to go to the Link MIDI tab in our preferences and see if the track and remote options are enabled for both the input and the output of the hardware synthesizer. So now that I've set up this, I create a new MIDI channel. I've created it beforehand. I even have some notes recorded here. But of course I don't have the synthesizer connected yet. So in order to trigger the synthesizer via MIDI, we need to load the external instrument device onto the MIDI channel. And we go to the MIDI 2 drop-down menu and select our synthesizer as a target. Now MIDI has 16 channels, as you may know. And if your synthesizer is multi-timbral, you need to select the relevant channel that you want to send MIDI information to. In the case with the Bass Station II, it's a monotimbral synthesizer, so it can only play one sound at a time. So I set it up to channel 1. So now this MIDI channel will send MIDI to the synth. But in order to hear the synth, we need to enable the audio input. So like you remember, the synth is connected to input 1. So I select input 1. And so now if I play this MIDI clip, it will trigger the synthesizer and you will hear the sounds. So yeah, this is a bit more flexible than just recording it as a straight up audio file, because you can like now transpose the notes, correct your sloppy timing or whatever. Well, the thing is, Unless your synthesizer is multi-timbral, it will be capable of only playing one sound at a time. You need to bounce the audio to an audio file in order to free up the synth to use it as another sound. So I create a new audio track, audio from drop-down menu. I choose the channel that I have loaded the external instrument device onto. I record arm the channel, and now I can press record and it will resample the audio from the synthesizer to a new audio clip. So now I don't need this MIDI clip anymore. I can use the external instrument device to trigger another sound from the synthesizer, and the previous clip is recorded onto the audio channel. So how about if you want to actually record MIDI from the keyboard into Ableton and trigger the synthesizer from Ableton at the same time? In that case, you need to record arm the MIDI channel. Yeah, the synthesizer will of course work as a MIDI keyboard and it will actually trigger itself through Ableton. But the thing is, it will also trigger itself internally. So we need to turn off the local keyboard control on the synthesizer. Now on the Novation Bass Station, we just press the function key. Actually, we hold the function key and press this key on the keyboard which says local. So I see that it says on and I switch it to off. What this means is that now the keyboard will not trigger the synthesizer and I can actually record the MIDI into Ableton, which will then trigger the synthesizer. So let's do it and let's record the MIDI part with the synth. So yeah, as you see, you need to disable the local keyboard control, otherwise the synth will receive the MIDI information twice and it will result in a sort of doubling. So yeah, that's pretty much the way you can use any synthesizer in Ableton Live. The external instrument device is really powerful and really easy to use actually.